On August 23, 1775, His Majesty King George III issued a proclamation declaring the colonies in open and avowed rebellion and ordering all loyal subjects to help suppress us. Well, congratulations, America! We have just been promoted from misunderstood children to full-fledged traitors. Now, of course, the news didn't arrive overnight. Crossing the Atlantic took a little while, so many towns first read the proclamation as it was making its way around in September of 1775 in the newspapers and broadsides. The king expected fear and obedience. Instead, Patriots turned it into a punchline and a rallying cry. So now that everyone in the colonies is aware of the proclamation of rebellion, here's a handy how-to rebel guide, straight from the greens, pulpits, and printing presses of New England. Step 1. Make some noise. When big news arrived, towns called people together with church bells and drums. Now this time, they weren't cheerful rings for the king's words. They were the sounds of communities gathering to hear, jeer, and decide what to do next. The same bells that rang for worship now told as the soundtrack of resistance. Step 2. Get creative with paper. Printers wasted no time. The proclamation was reprinted across the colonies, often published beside Patriot rebuttals. By December, Congress itself fired back with a printed response, accusing George of twisting facts and pushing Americans into rebellion. Broadsides, papers, and tavern walls became a battlefield where ink, not muskets, did the fighting. Step 3. Fire it up. Literally. Colonists already had a tradition of burning effigies of royal officials and unpopular laws. When the king's words arrived, many folded them right into that protest culture. Mock trials, parades, and flames turning loyalty into smoke. Loyalists called it disgraceful. Patriots called it Tuesday. Step 4. Take it to the pulpit. Ministers were never shy. In fiery sermons, they compared George to Pharaoh in Exodus, a tyrant that God himself would humble. By 1775, political preaching had become a weapon. Resisting the king wasn't just legal, it was holy. Imagine showing up to church expecting quiet prayer and instead getting a thunderous warning that siding with George meant siding with Satan. Subtlety was not in style. Step 5. Laugh. A lot. Colonial humorists sharpened their quills. Satirical essays mocked royal arrogance, while campfire jokes turned treason into gallows humor. By the late war years, whole pamphlets openly ridiculed George III. But the spirit started here. If the king called them rebels, they'd laugh in his face and act the part. So here's the great irony. The king's proclamation actually did Congress a favor. By branding everyone guilty of rebellion, even moderates still hoping for peace, George forced fence-sitters to pick a side. Neutrality suddenly looked pointless when your monarch said you were a traitor no matter what. So, thank you, George. You meant to crush the movement, but instead, you handed the colonies a rallying cry. We'll take the title rebel, we'll hang it on the wall, we'll ring it from the steeple, we'll preach it from the pulpit, and when the mood strikes, we'll burn it in effigy. Because if rebellion is what you call feeding your neighbors after raids, asking to be treated fairly, and not wanting our homes taken over by strangers, and daring to demand respect, then yes, we'll rebel properly. And if you'd like to keep marching with me through these stories of rebellion, the shouts, the scandals, the sermons, and the laughter, please subscribe to this page and you'll never miss the next dispatch. And we'll do it loud enough that even across the Atlantic, they'll hear the bells ringing.